Python class and objects. So Python is a object oriented programming. So Python is an object oriented programming. Object is simply a collection of data. There is the variables and the methods, there is the functions, and that are act on those data. And class is nothing but a blueprint of alike objects. So an object is also called an instance of a class, and the process of creating this object is called the instantiation. Whenever one object will be defined, some memory spaces will be occupied to hold the object's attribute values and to hold the method codes. So that's why whenever instantiation is going to take place, some memory space will get allocated against the object. So let us go for one practical demonstration to show you that how this class and object concepts can be used in our Python coding. In this example of class and objects, we are defining one class. The name of the class is myComplexNumber. And here we are defining one constructor. We know that constructor method will have the name as underscore underscore init underscore underscore in case of Python, irrespective of the name of the class. So it is having two input parameters. One is the real, another one is the image, and apart from this self. Self is actually denoting the reference of the object. Also it is known as the these reference. So here we are defining, here we are initializing two instance variable. One is the real part, another one is the image part with this real and image here. And display complex will print the value of real part and image part accordingly. So this is our myComplexNumber. I'm executing this one. So my class has got defined. Now we are defining one object against the class myComplexNumber. So the name of the object is complex1. So is equal to myComplexNumber 40 and 50. So this 40 will be the real part and this 50 will be assigned to the image part here. So this particular class myComplexNumber is having two instance variable, that is a real part and image part. So now let us go for the printing. So complex1 dot display complex, so it will print the respective 40 and 50 as the image part, real part and image part respectively. So here is the outcome. So myComplexNumber constructor executing. So this particular statement, this particular string has got printed from this print function, and then we are having this initialization, and then we are having this display complex. So this particular line has got printed. We're defining another object under the class myComplexNumber, and here we are passing this 60 and 40 for real part and image part here. So we are also defining a new attribute, that is the name of the attribute is new attribute. So another instance variable we are going to define here, and also initializing with the value 80. So this new attribute will be defined and will be related only with this complex2 object. And then we are printing this complex2 real part, complex2 image part, and complex2 new attribute. So here is the outcome, here is the output we are obtaining. So myComplexNumber constructor executing when you are defining this new object, that is our complex2. And now we are going for this printing, that is a real part, image part, and new attribute. We can also call this method, that is a complex2 display complex. So now you can find that it is printing 60 plus 70j, and here we are printing all the three instance variables, that is the real part, image part, and new attribute. This complex1 object which we defined earlier does not have this attribute new attribute. And so if I want to print this one as complex1.new attribute, then obviously it will show one error message, that is myComplexNumber object has no attribute new attribute. So that's why it is printing that one, because this new attribute we defined only with this complex2 object. Now how to delete? So now you see, just we are printing this complex1 again. So it is printing that this is a respective complex1. When you are printing this object, this outcome is coming. But when you were defined that real part, this real part, that instance variable, we can individually delete that one. So deleting object attributes. So that's why in that case I shall have to write del complex1, there is a object name dot real part. And if I want to delete the whole object, then also we can use this del and complex1. So now as it has got deleted, the real part has got deleted, the complex1 object itself has got deleted. So if I want to print this complex1 now, then it will tell me that name error is there and name complex1 is not defined. So in this example, we have given you the idea that how to define one class, how to define its instance variable and the methods, and how to define the objects under that class and many other features. Thanks for watching this video.